Hello party people, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tori. It is the first weekend of October when you're seeing this, and I am trying to get into the spooky spirit. So for this video, I thought we would brainstorm with each other some fun Halloween costume ideas. And when it comes to Halloween, I'm the kind of person who I really don't like to buy too many things that can only be worn once. A lot of the costumes that I'm going to be talking about I feel like are not very groundbreaking, but I think what's really great about most of them is you can rock them like no matter what you look like. I hate when people are like, oh, you need to have like blonde hair, or you need to have like this kind of look to achieve this character, this costume perfectly. And honestly, as long as you're dressing up and you're giving it your all, I don't think that's actually true. I feel like you could sorry, my earring. You can honestly wear or channel any of these characters and people are going to understand who you're referencing. If I say something or I forget something and it sparks an idea for you, please leave it down in the comments below so we can all look extra good this Halloween, even if it's only for Instagram. I think the easiest way to turn an outfit from something that you would just wear in your normal everyday life into something that is a bit more festive is fake blood or latex. Honestly, the possibilities are endless, and I feel like this is the way that you can get very creative, and yet I feel like people will be able to get it. Honestly, the worst thing about Halloween is not that there are a million people dressed in the same costume as you, but I feel like it's definitely when you have to explain to a million different people what you actually are dressed up as. I feel like when you think about like fake blood, immediately what comes to my mind is Carrie. That is like one of the few scary movies I've actually watched. I'm very much a scaredy cat. Similarly to her, if you wanted to do more of like that satin look but have a little bit of a gory vibe to it, you could always do Laura Palmer. Another woman from pop culture that I think would be really fun is Grace, aka the bride from Ready or Not. Put your hair in some braids, perhaps even a fake weapon if you wanted to. You have Miley Cyrus and Dua Lipa's Prisoners music video, which I think could be really fun, and I feel like those are pieces that you could easily find in your closet. Like, I feel like for that one you just gotta like channel the makeup look. You could also just like channel any final girl in any movie, you know, whether that's like Sydney from Scream, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween. It's like you could literally channel any of those girls and just like wear basically your normal clothes. I think it's also so easy right now to channel Sydney Prescott because that 90s kind of fashion slash the Bella Swan, Norm Elena from the Vampire Diaries aesthetic is weirdly coming back into fashion. So it's weirdly accessible to find these like, you know, very form-fitting Henley tops, low-rise jeans. Get yourself a knife if you're going to be Sydney and you're basically good to go. I also think it's also really fun to kind of create your own kind of characters when you have things like liquid latex or fake blood at your disposal. You could like become a murderous housewife. This idea is kind of inspired by like the You season 3 posters that I saw recently online, and it was like Love was cooking something and it definitely looked like blood in like her KitchenAid. If you wanted to play off the Carrie and the Laura Palmer of it all, but you didn't want to have to constrain yourself to finding a dress that looks exactly like theirs, I feel like it's totally cool to be like a killer prom queen or whatever. Like, you're not the final girl, you're the girl that's killing girls. I feel like honestly the possibilities are endless. You could be like, what did I write down? Like, if you wanted to just put yourself in fake blood and wear a bathing suit, you could be like a shark attack survivor. I'm thinking of like Jaws. You could easily look online like tutorials on how to make like, you know, look like you got bit by like a shark or a vampire. I'm a killer workout guru, you know, like just put on some spandex, put on your best leggings and perhaps like leg warmers. One of my favorite costumes that I've ever done is I was attacked tourist at Jurassic Park. So what I did is I already had the Jurassic Park t-shirt that I got from like Target, and I cut it up a little bit, wore denim cutoffs, my go-to sneakers, a baseball cap, and I had a Hawaiian shirt at the time. My friend let me borrow like a huge flashlight, and I made gashes on my face using liquid latex and fake blood that kind of looked like a velociraptor or like something like scratched me. Honestly, the best costume I've ever done, the most comfortable costume I've ever done, and literally it just took a little bit of brain power. I feel like that would be so fun right now. You could do like someone who was like, I don't know, bitten by a zombie on vacation. You'd be like a football player who was bitten by a werewolf, kind of like an homage to like Teen Wolf and things like that. Like, I feel like the 70s style is really huge right now, so there's something like, if you are that kind of person who's like really into that aesthetic, you know, you can just make that into your look, become a killer rock star. Honestly, anything. The possibilities are endless. I feel like when it comes to buying things like liquid latex and fake blood, if one person in your friend group buys it, you can really just like share the wealth. So these next ideas are kind of centered around a certain item to have in your closet. I'm calling this, all you need is lingerie or a corset. We all know the Mean Girls quote, and I feel like it still reigns true. Halloween is the one night of the year where a girl can dress like a total slut and no one can say anything about it. It's true, everyone gets slutty if you want. This one is the one that I'm planning on doing this year. Oh my God, these earrings. It's because I don't have a back to them. I don't know why I'm acting surprised. So this is the one that I'm planning on doing this year, and that is Olive from Easy A. Honestly, bonus points if you can find someone in your life who will dress up as Woodchuck Todd dressed as the Blue Devil. It's also something that I think is very recognizable, even if I don't have Emma Stone's red hair. You know, we're just gonna take these out. I mean, Playboy bunnies, kind of a classic around Halloween time. I think Rocky Horror Picture Show would also be really fun. I think a lot about like how you could really make Frankenfurter really fun and sexy. Honestly, even if you just had a corset, it's totally easy to build a costume around that. Like, you could just be a sexy vampire, you could be a sexy devil, you could be a sexy angel. I know those might sound very basic, but I think it also really just depends on how you interpret it and how you make it your own. I hate when people are like, oh, I hate being basic, because we all know it's rooted in misogyny a little bit, just a little bit. As long as you feel confident and you feel good in your costume, I don't think it really matters if everyone else is dressed that way. Kind of going off of like, all you really need is lingerie portion of this, I also think something that could be really fun is just leaning into like the cowboy aesthetic. I mean, you have like one of Dua Lipa's music videos, Halsey's music video, you know, Casey Musgraves, Miley Cyrus, the ever iconic Dolly Parton. Ivy Park recently did a rodeo collection. I feel like if you just took inspiration from those, you could definitely be a really fun play on a cowboy. If you wanted to make it funny, you could be like really scandalous cowboy attire, but then, you know, rodeo clown makeup. So now you're a rodeo clown. And you know, cowboy boots are really in right now, so I definitely think that if you've already invested in a pair of cowboy boots, or if you have a pair of cowboy boots, now is the time to bring them out and really like hone in on the yeehaw of it all. Okay, the next category, I'm calling it overdressed GF, low maintenance BF. So this one is for y'all who are in relationships. The first one that I think would be really fun, and that you definitely probably already have in your closet, is if you and your partner person dressed up as Audrey and Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors. If you look at what Seymour wears throughout this entire musical, it's definitely things that are already like trending in men's fashion. You know, the brown slacks with the neutral tone sweater vests, you have like the collared shirt, and like the classic tortoise glasses. And then for Audrey, all you need to do is look really hot in a dress. And I think really to hone in on the fact that you are this couple from Little Shop of Horrors, all you really need is a little fake plant to be your little Audrey too. Another one that's kind of in the same vein, and I mean in the same sense of like, you really just need a plant as an accessory for this one, is Matilda and Leon from Leon the Professional. Basic, it's a classic. It's a classic for a reason, and that's because you probably already have most of these items in your closet. If you wanted to make it extra fun, obviously you could get a little like fake pistol and potentially fake blood, because you know. The next couple idea I have is Almost Famous, and so obviously for the ladies I'm thinking Penny Lane, you know, the iconic coat, but you could also wear just like a really billowy, flowy white top and some nice denim cutoffs, or some nice denim bell bottoms, and like really cute sunglasses, and just curl your hair and you're good to go. And for the men, I feel like you have two options. You could either be Russell. Bonus points if your man has the facial hair that Russell has, because I feel like that one is so easy. Or I think you could also be William, who's, you know, the nerdy like boy who wants to be a reporter and photographer for Rolling Stone. So all you'd really need there is like a camera, and I think that's basically it. So the next idea I have are a couple of people from Hocus Pocus. So obviously we have the trio of sisters. They are literally iconic and they are their own thing, but I don't think what they wear is as easy to transition or translate into your normal everyday wear. So I'm focusing mostly on Max and Allison. I feel like this is really fun, especially if you are the kind of gal who has more of a maximalist wardrobe and your boyfriend or your best friend or whoever doesn't really dress up like that. So I feel like you could definitely channel Allison in that big ball gown she's in, and Max is just wearing like jeans, a bomber jacket, and a cap. This video is getting long, so I just wanted to next take the time to list some of my favorite pop culture references. I think a lot of people are hesitant to channel these things because they feel like it's kind of been outdone or like it's just boring, but I think the one way to make anything feel less boring to you, kind of feel a little bit more refreshed and new, is to channel like a popular movie, but maybe not necessarily like the iconic outfit. Like for example, one of the movies I have on here is Heathers. Obviously dressing as like the Heathers and Veronica is something that is super iconic, but in case you didn't want to go that route, I think a really fun way would be like, I don't know, being Veronica like right after she diffuses the bomb and she's covered in all this soot and she's smoking a cigarette. Like maybe you channel that one instead, or maybe even like the scene where she's slurping on a slushie with JD. Other ones that I have on here are Wayne's World. My friends and I did this one year and it was really fun. I was Cassandra and then they were the two guys. Jennifer's Body, obviously iconic. I also dressed as Jennifer Check a couple years ago now. I think now more than ever is definitely something that people are going to recognize almost instantly. For that one, you would definitely have to do either Jennifer when she's in her prom dress, or Jennifer in the opening scene with like her mini skirt, rib tights, and her white puffer jacket. I feel like those are the points in the movie that are definitely worth recreating. Any Wes Anderson movie. Like, I feel like every person on this planet, especially every like 20-something who thinks that their music taste is superior, they are unknowingly or potentially knowingly like dressing like a Wes Anderson character. So I feel like that's definitely something that you could definitely figure out. What do you already have in your closet that could help you dress that way? And I feel like those ones are always classics. Everyone always loves them at parties. Not like we're partying this year again, but if you are going to a party, Austin Powers and a fembot. Honestly, classic. My friends did this a couple years ago and they literally didn't even have to buy anything. One of my friends literally already owned a velvet, like a crushed velvet blue suit, because matching suits and like coordinating sets are always in. So she literally had that on hand. It was perfect. Speaking of that, I feel like you could also definitely go as the Mask. There are definitely many ways to wear coordinated suits, both of the pieces together or each piece on its own, so it definitely can become more versatile in your closet as well. Mary-Kate and Ashley. I feel like Mary-Kate and Ashley is a perfect one to channel because everyone's obsessed with like early 2000s fashion right now, and I feel like the one that I really think would be fun to channel is Mary-Kate and Ashley New York Minute. All you would really need to buy is the iconic I Heart New York shirts. Kitschy shirts like that, or shirts that we used to think were like tacky tourist things, are really in right now for some reason. I love them. So I feel like they're definitely something that can be reworn and remixed into your own personal style as well long after Halloween. We have Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, kind of again going off the early 2000s like moment of resurgence that's happening right now. Elle Woods and Bruiser. Again. Little Women, team with Saoirse and Timmy. This scene in particular, this is definitely something you could recreate. Like, vests are coming back. Find yourself a billowing shirt. I feel like it's so easy. And then, you know, if you know the whole monologue to that scene, you could definitely recreate it at any party you're at. I'm sure your friends would love that. I have The Matrix on here. The Matrix 4. I don't know what it's called. Revolutions is coming out this Christmas. The Matrix might have a resurgence soon, and I feel like this is an outfit that's so easy to recreate, especially if you are someone who's very tuned into the trends with like things like leather pants. We have a lot of like latex second skin tops, leather blazer look. I feel like those elements are definitely things that many people have in their closet, and that's something you could totally channel into like a Neo and Trinity situation. I feel like that's it for like the classic references that everyone will get, but I'm sure I'm definitely missing some, so you can definitely feel free to leave them down below. And then this is my final little section, but these are kind of like the pop culture references that I would love to see people channel this year. A couple of these ideas are not necessarily things that I think are easily translatable into your closet or things that you could easily rewear, but I know there are some maximalists out there who would be perfect for these costume ideas. So the first one that I have on here is WandaVision. I feel like everyone can channel Wanda and WandaVision, but I'm thinking mainly of the episode when she's giving birth, because the outfits that Wanda and Monica wear are so freaking gorgeous. Another one that I have on here is Death Becomes Her. I love this movie. I really want to do this one year with my friends. Noelle, Kit, I'm looking at you too. I want to be any of the women. I'll even be Bruce Willis. I want to recreate these looks real bad. Another idea I had was Shelby from A Cinderella Story and her friends who dressed up as angels. I feel like this is a really fun way to kind of play off the Victoria's Secret angels thing without actually paying homage to Victoria's Secret. Another idea that I had was Met Gala. I mean, obviously, if you even are like remotely into like celebrity culture and fashion, you're definitely the kind of person who is sitting in your sweatpants online judging what celebrities are wearing to the Met Gala. And I feel like if you started now, now would be the perfect time to kind of channel some of your favorite looks from the Met Gala, or even create your own like spin on what you would wear to like this year's Met Gala theme. Someone who I think always kills at the Met Gala, and the person who I kind of was thinking of when I wrote this down, was Lily Collins. Specifically, Lily Collins' look at the Heavenly Bodies Met Gala red carpet. She was stunning. I feel like that would be such a fun one to recreate. Same thing with her camp look. I feel like if you just looked at certain ones, like the camp red carpet or Heavenly Bodies in particular, and you just like kind of searched for your favorite celebrities, those would be really great outfits to recreate as well. You're definitely going to stand out as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me talk. Please leave down below any other suggestions you have for Halloween costumes. I hope you all have a beautiful day, have a wonderful Halloween, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.